Okay, everyone. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Institute of Law, RNTU, and the Law Teachers India, I, Divyansh Bhargav, Assistant Professor, Institute of Law, RNTU, warmly welcome you all in sixth day of 10 days online capacity building program FDP on legal research. And the today's session will be on plagiarism and ethical issues in legal research. We are delighted to have your presence for this insightful session, which is designed to equip faculties with the right tools and strategies to enhance their professional journey. It is my privilege to welcome an esteemed to our esteemed guest Dr. Niteesh Kumar Upadhyay, respected Dean Dr. Nilesh Sharma sir, HOD RNTU Institute of Law, Dr. Nais Jamir ma'am, and Dr. Kalpesh Gupta sir, and my dear participant to this insightful session on plagiarism and ethical issues in legal research, jointly organized by the Institute of Law RNTU and the Law Teachers India. Before starting the session, I would like to give a short introduction of our esteemed resource person, Dr. Niteesh Kumar Upadhyay, sir, who is an associate professor of law at Dhirubhai Ambani University School of Law and a research advisor at South Ural State University, Russia. He also serves he also serves as guest faculty at Romanian American University, Romania, and as an uh, international source person and as an international research fellow at the University of Milan, Italy. Dr. Upadhyay completed his doctorate and PG postgraduate studies at the West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences, Kolkata. Now, with over 35 publications in various journals, his areas of expertise include human rights, international humanitarian law, refugee law, cyber law, and technology law. He has received multiple scholarships and grants from prestigious institutions such as Gaze, Turkey, ILAC, New York, the Hague Academy, Netherlands, Sheman University, China, and the Pro Bono, Hong Kong. Dr. Upadhyay has delivered lectures at international universities including Reisenberg University, Germany, Zeman University, China, South State University, Russia, American University, Romania, University of Salamanca, Spain, and Management and Science University, Malaysia. He was recently appointed as a member of the Academic Friends University of the UNHRC Advisory Committee. Dr. Upadhyay has completed postdoctoral research at both South Ural State University, Russia, and the Reggio Calabria University, Italy, and is a research fellow at Tashkent State Law University and research associate at Nelson Mandela University, South Africa. Now, without further ado, I invite Dr. Niteesh Kumar Upadhyay sir to enlighten us on today's topic, plagiarism and ethical issues in legal research. Sir, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, Devanshi. Thank you, Kalpesh sir. Thank you, Dr. Niteesh. And hello. So I'm going to discuss something which almost I think is nothing new. And why Kalpesh sir have actually asked me something to deliver on plagiarism for somebody who, people who already have experience of doing it since so long. Because knowingly and unknowingly, I'll tell how we are at times we are doing plagiarism, we are doing similarities, and plagiarism is a problem that most of us are not doing, but similarity is a big issue, and there are definitely some tools and tricks how you can escape those. And this was something that could have been taught to us very well when we were in undergraduate courses, not at this level where we are faculties of the teaching, because somehow our professors missed this, because at their time library was the only source. Online things were little less. Now even online, and then there comes the way where you have artificial intelligence and digital technologies also taking place. So things have gone totally in terms of data collections and all beyond the reach. uh, Earlier, chances for plagiarism and similarity, even catching them was little tough. When this library word was there, not everything was digitalized. So if there is one dissertation or a thesis lying up in a library of BHU, nobody knows if I just go and copy that and place the same at Delhi University. And I have seen a lot of people doing this when I was at ILI doing my postgraduate diploma over there. I find there were a lot of these dissertation and thesis over there. Anybody can just pay 25 or 30 rupees at that time, can access the library for a day, get it print over there, pay for that printing price. And what they used to do, they used to say you cannot get the whole volume print. So people are really smart. What they'll do is they'll go for the first day, they'll only get first 50 pages print. And after 3 4 days, they'll visit again and they'll get another 50 pages print, and then they'll get it typed by somebody, and your job is done. Now this job is more, you find a more advanced version where I have seen advertisement people coming and saying, oh, you have enrolled in PhD and don't have a time to write it, we are there to help you out. So things which were ethical, things which were unethical, there is blurring of that line now. People are in a rat race where they just want to come up with publication with whatever means, and because of which whenever you say retraction watch, or whenever you say the article amount of paper that had been retracted from the published papers, you'll find Indian scholars are in top 5. We may not be the top 5 in terms of contribution, but we are top 5 definitely in terms of retractions. There are a lot of tortured faces that people are using, and because of which Elsewhere and all other Wiley, Brill, all these journals are retracting a lot of papers. So there are a lot of times question, and there are very genuine, sometimes people ask, sir, I have written everything by my own. Still it is showing AI. It is still showing some similarity. It's still showing plagiarism. And they use similarity as plagiarism. So Turnitin gives you a similarity report. It does not give you a plagiarism report. There is no software which says plagiarism report. So we keep the idea very clear. There is something called plagiarism and there is something called similarity. Let's take, there is an act, Surface I Act, Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Interest Act 2002 is this big name of this particular act. If you write that act, I also write the same. I cannot change. It's the name of an act. This is similarity. And that's why it is set up to 10% of similarity is fine. But can you say up to 10% of plagiarism is fine? No. Up to 10% of plagiarism is not fine. Plagiarism is not allowed. The answer is very clear. There is a difference between similarity and plagiarism. As soon as you say plagiarism, it means, let's take stealing somebody's work without giving attribution to that particular person who has given that theory or that logic. Similarity is that there are some generic terms, some generic words which everybody will use, and there may be a similarity. If I'm writing a paper on corporate social responsibility, I may write corporate social responsibility multiple times, and it will show similarity every time. It may, let's take, I have used that for 20, 30 times. This may go to 2% of my overall text as similar, but this is not plagiarism. I have not copied somebody's word where they have written corporate. Everybody who is working on this topic will write corporate social responsibility. For the same matter, if you upload your paper with footnotes, they show all the footnotes as plagiarized, which is not plagiarized, which is similarity. They show all these footnotes as similar. Why? Because you are following some kind of a citation format. Blue Book or Schola, MLA, Purtu Devi, anything. Everybody in the world will be using the same way of citation. So the way you are citing, somebody has already cited, and that's why this is a similarity, but this is not a copy. This is not where you have failed to attribute the work of somebody. Citation is just a format of how you refer something. You need not to copy from somebody. Okay. So you're not copying because everybody is following that formula. 2 plus 2 is 4 for you, 2 plus 2 for 4 for me also. You cannot say I plagiarized your logic. For everybody, 2 plus 2 is 4. So we have to be very clear, very cautious when we're using word plagiarism. And I have seen people using very frankly, there's okay, less than 10% plagiarism is fine. The right word is less than 10%. Similarity is fine. Plagiarism is not at all fine. Let's take, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a theory which says a pen goes up, will come down. Who has given this theory? A pen goes up, will always come down. Whose theory is this? Newton's theory. But Newton has said anything that goes up will come down. I have used the word pen. So this is where I'm copying the idea without attributing somebody. And that's where the other point that comes, sometimes you will find faculties, even colleagues suggesting, Are apne words mein likh ke just submit it. And I find it On an honest note, I don't know how much of you have seen this, but I've seen very commonly people saying in academics to students when they are submitting their dissertation, thesis, or maybe research projects, अपने words में लिख दो, paraphrase कर दो. The paraphrasing does not make this work yours. It's still a paraphrase. The logic belongs to somebody you need to attribute. Maybe you can write something in your own words, but you have to attribute to the person from where you have got that particular idea. So I have prepared one plagiarized PPT. Yeah, because I used AI. But now as soon as I attribute to this is neither plagiarism, neither similarity. All issues are over because I'm giving an attribution. So we will study, I have divided this into three parts. First part, we'll study the types of plagiarism, what are the basic issues related to plagiarism and similarity. And then in second part, we will be studying what are the rules that you need to follow when you are writing papers. We'll be also going through some of the tools, how you can footnote your papers, how you can do the referencing easily, and maybe just 1 or 2 minutes I'll take on that, and citation will be not a problem. And then maybe I can tell you some ways how you can just procure some material, maybe the way how to use AI for your research. So I'm not going to deal in detail because I may be overlapping with somebody else's session who's discussing how AI can be used in research, but I'll ask whether you know it or not. Just thumbs up if you know about it. If you don't, I'll just show it on my screen. So these are the types of plagiarism. Direct and verbatim, usually done by students. You'll find they just copied some from somewhere and then given to you. Mosaic plagiarism is kind of smart work where you do a kind of patchwork. You copy one para from one para from other. Not necessarily you're not citing them. Maybe you are also citing them. But then this is how you are doing a trading. You're not writing anything of your own. You're not creating any new information and knowledge on any particular subject. You are just copying one para, then copying another para, and you're writing your article. Paraphrasing without credit, that's also done by Quillbot and a lot of other softwares. Please do not do that. That's also a type of plagiarism. Self-plagiarism, if you're publishing your own paper twice just by making some little changes in the title or the content. Accidental plagiarism, because now here people say how accidental uh, work can be a plagiarism. Accidentally, it becomes similar. So as a researcher, your job is to find out everything that is already present, every information that is already there. So you failed as a researcher and you have done something which is similar to the work of somebody else. And that's why accidental plagiarism is also a problem. Idea plagiarism, I've given a perfect example where I've said, okay, a pen will go up, will always come down, is basically a theory of Newton, which says anything that goes up will always come down. So if you're copying somebody's idea and saying, okay, this is my idea, but it's written somewhere. If this idea is just in the brain of the person, in the mind of the person, then it's perfectly all right. But if this idea is written on a piece of a paper somewhere, then it's idea plagiarism. Image and data plagiarism, sometimes people just pick up some graphs, some images, and they place it in their article without attributing, where they have no knowledge how this particular graph, this data, this chart has been created. So this is another type of plagiarism. So why plagiarism is a problem? First is it violates academic and research ethics. So definitely you are not contributing anything new to the society, neither you are increasing the amount of information and knowledge on any particular subject, neither you are increasing the potency of any particular information or a subject. So that's the problem. Second, damages credibility and reputation. Anybody who plagiarize against whom name there is a retraction. Now NAC is also saying and NIRF also, that if your university have retracted papers either in Scopus or Web of Science, we are going to deduct marks for the same. So there will be some deduction of marks because there is some kind of retraction are there of your articles and research papers. Uh, Leads to disciplinary action or paper rejection. Paper rejection is a very common thing. If they find their work is plagiarized, they will reject your papers, especially not just papers. Even if you're sending it for some conferences and scholarships, you have a very high chances that will be rejected. Hinders genuine learning and creativity because you are dependent on things which are already there. You're not creating anything new, and you're also not genuinely learning and reading because your basic neural circuit of the mind is based or is focusing towards copying something, getting your job easy. So there is a very old saying that if there is a shortcut to reach anywhere, that place is not a worth place visiting. अगर कहीं जाने का कोई shortcut है तो वो जगह visit करने लायक नहीं है, because a lot of other people must have been there. So you have to keep this in mind when you are doing your research, especially legal research. So common causes, these are known to everyone. I think one is poor time management. I find a lot of people, you know, peers, colleagues, seniors, juniors, people who have just started academics, that we don't have time. We are taking 14 hours in a week or 16 hours in a week, where if you divide it's 3 hours or 4 hours of teaching every day, then we are preparing for it. So if you're preparing for it, can you be a little smart? Prepare for something which you are teaching, and maybe that on that same domain you can write a research paper. So it's also increases and improves your teaching and learning in the classroom, and also gives you an outcome in terms of a research paper at the end. So poor time management is one thing. For kids, they're not worried. They will do it in the last time, or they do it at the last day, last hour, last minute, anything. And because of which they fall for plagiarized and similar material. Lack of understanding of citation style, that's also one thing, because sometimes when people do not understand the citation style, they, even if they're willing to footnote, they are, their hands are twisted, because they are not understanding how to go for footnoting. So they just try to copy things, and even sometimes copy the footnote itself and write the paper or dissertation or thesis whatsoever they are writing. Fear of failure, pressure to publish. There are university who are given some unrealistic targets to their faculty members. I was there to deliver faculty development program in one of the universities in Gurgaon, I'll not name. They have given a target to all the faculties that every faculty will publish 4 Scopus papers in a year. I tell you on a very honest note, when I started my career in Scopus paper writing, I started my career way back in 2012, but my first Scopus publication came in 2020, where I was introduced about Scopus in 2019. So it took almost 1.5 years. And for 2020, 21, 22, I was getting only one publication every year. And then there are some rejected papers which I used to improve and send. So because of which in 2023, I got 5, and 2024, I got 5. This year I got 3, and maybe next year I'll be getting 3 again. So 4 is really tough, and you have to build on it. I have built on all my rejected papers, and because of which 3 or 5 number is even possible. But young professors who are coming, who have no clue about publication and all those things, they're being forced for this. So they don't have any other option than to either they go for plagiarized material, plagiarizing thing, or rather go for fake, predatory, and clone journals, which are, which are making fool of everybody on the guys, this guys that okay, they will publish in Scopus, but your paper will never be listed on the website. This I already told, plagiarism versus similarity. And now this is something very important. There are a lot of time people ask, okay, what is the problem if you're using AI for research, or if you're using AI for writing papers? The biggest problem is that AI, through large language models, LLM, is using all the data which was prior to your research available. So they will do a deep learning, feature learning, machine learning, but only for the data which is already there. They'll not create any new data, new understanding. So when this new data is not created, new understanding is not created by them, actually they're not doing any analyzing. They're only summarizing things which are already prior available. So you're not increasing the quantum of information and knowledge on any particular subject, and you cannot say you're doing a research. That's why if you go on AI and say, okay, can AI, you write this for me or write that for me, then first of all, it is not increasing the academic caliber of yours, neither of your writing. Second, it is only giving you things which are there in past without any much analysis. Even if you ask to be very critical, to analyze something, they may not be able to analyze the way a human brain or human mind analyze. And there are a lot of tools and softwares which also catches that you have used AI for your research paper writing. So do not use AI for research paper writing, but you can use AI for some other purposes of data collection and all, and I'll tell you in some time. So let's take, you have a problem that it may have because of hallucination, backlog syndrome, which says that AI gives you a response, but will never give you the way how it have arrived to that response. It give you answer, but how it have arrived to an answer is not given. So sometimes they give you answer which is not good. There are also a lot of researchers who are putting fake information in AI, and then AI is hallucinated and giving wrong information. So they are doing research on this, that can we make this whole AI thing crap, generative AI basically, where we put a lot of fake information and then AI is, reading those fake information and giving you the outcome which are wrong or which are hallucinated. It stops intellectual growth, and definitely there are no much policies around the globe about research in AI. There are a few universities. I visited a university in Uzbekistan recently where they have on, especially for student paper, they say that you should use 20% of AI minimum and maximum 30%. 20% minimum means that they have to at least use AI, use some content from there to their research paper writing, which is not the seen in other countries or the case in other countries where we are talking in terms of India. I don't find any specific law school which is only and only focusing on that AI policies. This most of them say that okay, similarity 10% is allowed, so same 10% AI is also allowed. Nothing more than 10% will allow, whether it's similarity or it's AI. So policy compliance is also a big issue when you're talking in these terms. Now, there are some citation rules that everybody needs to follow. And these are I'll share the PPT because since it is generated by AI, this is generated by me, this particular slide. There are a few other slides which are also generated by me. So I actually, in terms of, where there are some generic things, I have used AI. For where there needs to have a specific information, it was me who had created the PPT. But I have no problem sharing with you all because scientific information and knowledge should flow to one person to another. Now, if you are copying less than 7 words, you need not to footnote. 7 शब्दों से कम अगर आप कॉपी करते हैं तो फुटनोट की जरूरत नहीं है. If you're copying 7 to 50 words, you need to provide footnote. And if it is a quotation, then you have to also give the quotation mark. Turnitin also have a red flag system where they said you have used quotation mark excessively. If you are in excess, you're using quotation mark, it will show that you have tried to remove the similarity and you have not done an ethical practice, and that's why this red flag is there. If you are copying more than 50 words, sometimes may happen because you are copying a judgment or let's take a article or a section which requires to be verbatim similar, word by word similar to what is written already. So in that case, you have to follow a 4-point rule. First is reduce the font size, which is otherwise 12, but now you have to reduce the font size to 10, which is also the citation font. Footnoting font is also 10. So reduce the font size to 10 if you're copying more than 50 words. Okay. Indent it from both the side, compress it from both the side 1.5. Italics hold the text, includes quotation mark and include a footnote. So basically there are 5 rules because including quotation mark and including a footnote are 2 different things. So if you follow these 5 rules, any software will see to this particular text and say that this person acknowledges that this particular text is not his creation, is a verbatim copy of somebody's work, and that's why he is following this particular rule. So let's leave this part and see all other things for similarity check. So please follow this rules, especially Harvard and Oxford and all these university journals, which are top 20 journals of the world. They follow this. So if you have written something there, they will not take it as similar or a plagiarized material. So now this is the part that is over in terms of the PPT. I will be now sharing my screen and sharing my Google profile, where I'll tell you how you people can use AI. I have now told that you cannot use AI for your research. But there are some websites which you can use for your research paper writing. And let me know with a thumbs up or a something that you already know this particular websites. So there is one website known as Consensus Consensus AI. Anybody know about this? What you can do in Consensus, let's take I go on Consensus and I write bright trafficking in India. Now Consensus will, okay, it requires a mail ID login. So now let's take I write, and after logging in, creating an account is free, but if you want an expert services for pro, you need to pay a bit. But I'll suggest that you can use it for just like, the normal version. I want to find articles on bright trafficking. I have written bright trafficking. It has shown me 20 sources. These are all the papers on bright trafficking. Okay, you can open any paper. It also gives you a very brief about what is bright trafficking, what is a definition, what is form, and which particular article number is talking about it. So article 15, article 3, article 6 are talking about the same, whereas others may be talking of something else. So this way it will create a kind of, let's take literature for you. So very important for literature review, you can go on these articles, you can also read their brief, you can also access them in full. So Consensus is one. Next is Semantic Scholar. Semantic Scholar is also a very useful AI tool. Let's take I search for AI here. Are you able to see my screen? Is my screen
Yes,
visible?
yes, yes, yes.
Oh, great. So now let's take a search for AI in Semantic Scholar. It shows me all the papers, how many citations they have, the PDF format. If it's lock, it is open. Open one, you can read. Lock ones, like this sign is there. You cannot read it completely, but you can find it on some other sources maybe. So these are the papers on AI. This is Semantic Scholar. The next is Illicit. Illicit AI. If you go on Illicit AI, you can also do a literature survey kind of a thing here. So let's take, I search for bright trafficking, and this is all about bright trafficking. It will show all the material available, all the papers available on bright trafficking. So these are the paper. Even you can find that my name was the first in this particular website. And these are the way how you can just, so you can do literature review, you can download papers, you can read them, you can understand the topic. And this is how this website illicit.com is important. Next is connected papers. Connected papers usually show you papers which are very closely interlinked with others. So let's take, I'm saying bright trafficking. If you find bright trafficking, you find an author. But let's assume you are writing a dissertation. You know one author who is very good in that particular area, but you only have one article published and you want more such papers related to it which are published. So let's say on bright trafficking in India, you are trying to search me and also other papers which are similar to me. The closer ones will be quite similar, the far one will be less similar. So similarity in the closest one, it will be more, whereas the distance, as the distance increases, similarity will be less. I can also just click on any of these and can go and read that abstract in that paper as well. It can also open in PDF. So this is connected papers. There is also a website known as Litmaps. Litmaps also is almost similar to connected papers. And on a very honest note, if you ask me whether I use them, no, I don't use them. I just train people how to use. Whereas myself, I never use AI for my research paper writing because I don't require it. I think sometimes it confuses me more than it can help me out. So this also creates graphs. You can see graphs here. Then lit maps and connected papers almost do the similar kind of a work. There is a website called Chat PDF. So if there is any PDF file, you can just go and upload that PDF file and it will give you a summary. So if you have, let's take 100, papers and you want to read them, and there may be so much similarity among the papers, you just come, you upload the paper and it will give you a similarity of that, okay, this paper um, is not similarity. Actually, it will give you a brief summary of that paper. So you will understand whether you want to read that paper or not. So chat PDF can be used in terms of when you want to filter out things that are there in your hand, where you want to read or you want to analyze them, whether they are worth reading, you can find with chat PDF. Just upload the PDF file and it will give you a summary. And after reading the summary, you will understand whether you need to read the paper full or you can just skip it because it's not sharing anything which is of good use to you. Then there is a website called napkin.ai. Napkin AI prepares graphs for you, visual graphs. So maybe for your classroom teaching and everything, you can use Napkin AI, and you can just sign in, create your account, write anything. Even if you, let's take you copy one para from a particular article and place it in Napkin AI, it will give you a graph of that to you. So for preparing graphs, making graphs, this is a very important, this is very important website, napkin.ai, that you can use for your research paper writing. So these are some ways, how you can legit use artificial intelligence for your research paper help and all. But basically the best way of writing paper is that I'll give you a key how I do it. So if I have to write a paper, let's take of 6,000 words, which is having 5 subheadings. So I will create 5 different word file. The first word file is introduction, the last word file may be conclusion and suggestions. I will start reading articles, and as soon as there is article, there is something that I find is useful that I want to analyze, I will analyze and I'll see, okay, on which part it will go. So this is something important for, let's take conclusion and suggestion. I'll go on that file, I'll open, I'll write conclusions and suggestions. At the same time, I will also do the footnote of the same. This way, I'll keep on reading and I'll keep on placing that material in different files with the footnote. And once I think that, okay, I've done enough of reading of books and chapters and things, I can come back, I can place all these 5 files in single file, and then I will start reading, analyzing, and also, you know, removing things which is of no good use or which is repetitive or something. Once that thing is done, I'll get it reviewed by someone else than me, who is well versed with English, because I do sometimes make grammatical errors while writing. So once that is done, I'll send this particular paper to a journal. Then journal will give me reviews, comments. I'll incorporate. I'll send it again. If rejected, I'll send it to some other place. If accepted, thank you very much. Maybe a LinkedIn update that this paper got published at so and so Scopus journal. So out of my 19 publications, all of them are free of cost. 18 of them are in journal, and there is only one paper which is there in a conference. So if you're a beginner and not getting chance to publish in Scopus, maybe you can, if your PhD is stuck or something, you can look forward for IEEE and E3S conferences where all the papers are listed in Scopus, whereas journals usually take 1 year, 1.5 years to publish. Also, there is one thing I would like to share, how, as I told in the beginning, how to footnote. I'll tell you how you can easily footnote. So let's take, you go on your Google, and in Google you have, go on Drive. In Drive, open any file. Not Drive, it's Docs. Go in Docs, and in Docs, open, let's take any file where you're working. Let's take, I'm working on disability article. In this, there will be an option where I can get the extension. Not showing in this because I think I have a pirated version, but there is something called bib citation, BIB citation. So remember, bib citation, you can go, it will show you on your right hand side. you can just place the URL and it will give you a citation. So any citation style you want, you can do it. Learn bib citation from maybe YouTube, and that will suffice the purpose in terms of in terms of footnoting. So any citation style you want, it will be there in bib citation. Also, there is one thing I'll want to show, which is very important. Not take much time. Is related to a fake Scopus journal, which is publishing a lot of paper nowadays, and how you can catch such fake and predatory journals. There may be another session on this, but I think when I'm discussing, and I was rushing, so I could save some time for this. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you see this journal, Lex Localist journal?
Now, no, sir, no.
Oh,
Your
okay.
screen is not visible.
Okay, just wait. I think it will be visible now. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this journal is there, which is, can you see the Lex Localist journal page?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now this journal is claiming to be Scopus, which was earlier Scopus. If you go and find in archives any issue, you will find that they are publishing almost 100. Let's take this issue, volume 23. They have published almost 100 papers in one issue. Whereas if you go on their Scopus website and then there is Scopus, you will find the story is something else. So in sources, I'll write the name of the journal. So from title, let's so this journal is here, which was Scopus. When you go on Scopus content coverage, it will share that they used to publish only 57 papers in a year. And this single volume has, I think, more than 57 papers. And paper from random areas, which have to do nothing with local self-government and all. So when you find such kind of journals and they're asking for money, please do not publish. It's a fake journal. Thank you very much. This is all from my side. Now, if there are any questions, answers, because I want to play some time for that. It's a very simple topic. I think on similarity and plagiarism, somebody should not speak more than 30-35 minutes, because that's known to almost everybody who's there in this group. So if there are any questions, please, most welcome to ask.
Yes, yes, participant, any question query, please put the question in the chat box or raise your hand.
If you raise a hand, maybe we can unmute you and you can ask your questions. And not necessarily always on plagiarism and similarity. Anything related to publication, anything related to publication ethics, if you want to ask, you can ask. What are the alternatives to Turnitin? See, Turnitin alternative is Urkund is there. I don't know whether it works or not. Authenticate is there, but all other software will not have that big libraries with them. So that's why Turnitin database is used more than any other. So I'll not say there is their alternative. Alternative means that you have one, other is equally good. So there is no alternative to Turnitin because nobody had that big database as Turnitin is. Neither even Urkunt. So there is no alternative. But yeah, there are other softwares which can also tell you about the citation. Now, most research sites have been blocked. Are there any suggestions? Most research site, I'll just give you, that will never be blocked. And I can show you something. Just give me 1 minute. In terms of data collection, it will never be a problem. So you go on Google and you just type, let's take I'll write in it PDF law review and your topic. Just go on Google, write PDF law review on your topic, and you'll receive a lot of material related to your topic. Be very specific, and this will never be blocked because this is an operand which Google uses. How to approach a journal if we are a beginner in this? First of all, find a journal which is publishing Indian papers. Find what kind of authors there are, who are their authors, whether there are authors who are not beginners, they are experienced authors. If there are also beginners like you have a chance more than other people.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I wanted to know before submitting any paper, how to check plagiarism, sir, by ourselves, because every plagiarism software is a paid version. So, and the amount is, and only
I'll tell you,
institution can subscribe to that.
that's the problem, ma'am. Maybe you can find a friend who has this Turnitin and can help you out. Also, one of the
Because Turnitin, Urkun, and institutional only get the subscription, sir. Individually, we feel very difficult.
Yeah.
So how to overcome this problem? And one more doubt, sir, when we write a paper, as we have heard many speakers in the last session also, like if we are going to mention it in the footnotes, so it will not come in the plagiarism. But what I have seen is when I sent a paper long back, along with the footnote, I have mentioned everything, I given reference also, but still it is coming under plagiarism only. And all the acts, all the section, everything, it comes plagiarism. And my third doubt is, sir, see, for example, I may have an idea.
Your horses to yourself, because I may forget what the first two questions
Yes,
are.
yes. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, so I'll reply to this. Maybe I'll jump to the third one then.
Yes.
First is regarding Turnitin, please find out somebody who can help you out in this. There is no other way, because other softwares may not be as great as Turnitin, and every journal will be using Turnitin. So it's better you use what they are also using. So you are thorough with that, okay, what is the similarity and whether I need to reduce the similarity level or not. Second question is, which was regarding, can you
mentioning in spite of mentioning it in
spite of mentioning, see, mentioning does not mean the work becomes yours or it's not, it's everything is fine. Mentioning is thus that you are attributing to the idea from where you have taken. But if you're taking word by word of it, then it is going to be similar. So you need to understand, analyze. Let's take, if I say, I analyze this meeting, I can only see 4 people here. Okay. Not there are, let's take 140 people here, but I analyze, there are only 4 people I can see. So my analysis is I only know 4 people here.
Okay. So we need to
maybe I'll give you an example. Let's be very quick. Let's take, you just see Article 21 of Indian Constitution. You can analyze it that Article 21 of the Indian Constitution is the widest interpreted constitution. It includes right to fresh air, right to fresh water, right to education, right to vote in jail, right to have children, right to have children even if you are in jail, right to of a kid to have a mother's milk. I could analyze in maybe 30 pages. This just one Article 21, and maybe 30 pages you can analyze, writing that, okay, this author is not making any sense by writing this particular book. He is missing out on a very fundamental thing. He does not understand what is the difference between human rights and IHL. And that's what your contribution is. So your job is to analyze, not to summarize. We are not linguistic professors.
Okay, sir. Sir, my third doubt is, sir, whenever I write a paper, as you told in the beginning, I'll form a structure and I'll have a thought before starting a paper. So I will structure everything, and after that, when I read any article or any book, the same thing will be reflected there. So how this be called as plagiarism later? Even if I put it in my words, the thoughts are same. Even I agree with.
Why it is said that, okay, your job is to research, read plus search, something which is already there, you're searching. If you miss out to search something which is similar to your idea, and see, we stay in society. Okay? And there are a lot of information that is on our mind because we are there living in society. We can't say that this learning is of our own. Anything which I'm delivering to you, even the language that I'm using to give, how I'm delivering my lecture is from the society. I can't claim that this language is mine, and that's why it is said, no, you have a mother tongue, and then you have a second language. Second language, what do you speak, where you speak, and then it being taught to you. Everything, if you say from where you use this word permutation, combination, or potency, that's not, I have found it out. Okay.
Okay.
But it's
Yes.
my job to find out when I'm doing research. It's my job to find out if I'm giving an idea, whether there is any person who has a similar idea or not. If I'm
Okay.
failing in that, I'm failing in attributing to a theory. I can't say that I was not knowing Newton's theory. That's why I given this theory and this theory belongs to me.
Okay. So every
I'm
time
not a
we
good
have to give
researcher in that case.
attribution. That is the solution, sir. Is
Let me be very candid. Then you need to be a little more critical about things. Whatever you see and read, just try to
okay.
criticize. Even after my lecture, go in on a LinkedIn, write, okay, I have attended this lecture and this was very critical. The fellow was not good. Right? You will learn something. There will be a lot of people who will be coming up and they will be writing, maybe you can write just, okay, and try this.
Okay.
Lecture was not good. Go on LinkedIn, right? Lecture was not good. He was talking about some AI tools, but I am not knowing which good AI tools are there. There will be thousands of people coming up and writing, okay, you can use this AI tool. You can learn this
Okay.
particular way also. There are different ways of learning. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any further question? Have anyone here in this whole 135 group have ever listened to any of my other lectures? And can you analyze today I'm in hurry or not?
Very much, Hari.
Yes,
Very much in
you
hurry.
are.
Yeah.
So, Kelkar
from the
Pratiksha.
from the
Yes,
starting point, I'm analyzing this not because of maybe something, but different from as you used to. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I'm not enjoying the topic, to be honest.
Hello, sir. I'm Kelkar.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much for this wonderful lecture. I have a question that, sir, your language command is also very good. I'm quite impressed. And I want to ask that having ISSN number or ISBN number, does it means that the journal is peer reviewed? Because I
No,
have
not
faced
necessary.
no. Then
No,
how
answer
this
is no.
peer reviewed
ISSN
is
is International Sequential Series Number. ISBN is International Sequential Book Number or something. That's the full form. Even if you want to start your own ISSN journal, you can just get 7 papers from your student or any of your peer, send it to ISSN India office. They'll give a ISSN number to you, and you can start your own journal. When you say it is peer reviewed journal, it means it have a peer review process that after removing your name, they're sending the paper to 2 of other researchers and scholars and experts, and then they are recommending your paper to be published or worth publishing or not. So not
okay.
every ISSN and ISBN is a peer reviewed or something. Yeah.
Okay, so they don't have any standard as such for giving ISSN number or ISBN number for your journal.
No.
Okay, sir,
No
one
standard.
more
But
question.
they
May
have a
I?
standard to give you a journal scopus listing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the citation index? I have heard it. I don't know much about it. H index and G index, something like that.
H index is your total amount of paper, how many times they are being referred. Let's take if my H index is 5. So my 5 paper have been referred more than 5 times. Very simple. If my H index will be 10 paper more than 10 times they are referred. That's how H index is counted. Then there
Okay.
is something called H index of a journal. So H index of a journal is counted by total number of citation divided by total number of publication in last 2 years. When you're talking in terms of scopus, it is H index is known as site score. So it is by total number of citation in last 3 years, by total number of publications in last 3 years. Just so let's take journal has published 100 papers and have 1,000 citations. So in 3 years, 100 papers, 3 years, 1,000 citation. H index of a journal will be 10. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So
Yeah.
this is how. But I'll tell you very honestly. Just remember 2 things. Never pay for your publication. You will be saved for half of the things that is happening in the society where there are fake predatory and clone journals. You will be saved from that, and never run for these H index, I index till the time you are not a very seasoned scholar. Nobody is asking you what is your H index. You have just 1 publication. Maybe after 10, 15, 20 publication, people may start asking, okay, what is your citation, what is your citation now? And there are a lot of citation cartels that ask you money and then they can give you citations and all. Please do not. I think it takes a lot of courage to follow right ethical practices and research, because otherwise it's too easy. You can just pay money and get everything done. You can even pay money and get your article done by somebody, and they can get it in some good journals or something. But ghostwriting, which you said, but it's not worth, because when you read, when you research, it increase your knowledge, and your neural network works, because of which you go and you deliver in class. I prepared this PPT maybe in 7 to 8 minutes, and I spoke for almost 40 minutes. But if you ask me to speak for 4 hours, I can do that, because I have already studied what is plagiarism, what is similarity, how to find it, how to avoid it, everything. So when you will research, this is there in your mind, and it will always be there. Research, a good research will definitely reflect your amount of knowledge that you're delivering in your class. Yeah, thank you. Any other question? I think we have another 10 minutes where I can have a few more questions.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful presentation. Now, sir, I will give a great board of things as we conclude today's insightful session on that topic, plagiarism and ethical issues in legal research. I extend heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Upadhyay, sir, for sharing invaluable knowledge on maintaining academic integrity. And now, with this, we formally conclude today's session. Thank you, everyone, for your presence and participation.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Niteesh, for your support and experience sharing. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot,
Dr.
Kalpesh, for
Niteesh.
inviting. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you,
And
sir. Thank you so
I
much.
usually, it's tough to find head HODs and dean who are attending sessions. So it's a pleasure to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your
बस
valuable
Sir.
वो
information for
स्टार्ट
this
होता है ना,
session.
उसके बाद
Thank
वो
you.
आउट हो जाते हैं, लॉग आउट कर लेते हैं.
I know. Okay. Thank you so
और
much, Nitesh.
वो जहाँ
Thank you.
पहुंचना है, वहां पहुंच के उसके बाद लर्निंग स्टॉप, कहते हैं अब इससे ज़्यादा सीखने की
Absolutely.
जरूरत
But
नहीं है.
what happens is, for me, what I think is, sir, ki if I am there, then only I feel good, and as it's like there's no ending to learn anything.
Mhm.
Most importantly, and I feel good being between all these peoples, everybody, and listening to you and many other researchers. मतलब the resource person जो कल्पेश सर भी लेके आते हैं, I mean, fantastic.
कल्पेश सर ने मुझे बोला था आपको 1 घंटे के अंदर बोलना और क्वेश्चन आंसर दोनों खत्म करना है.
हाँ, कल्पेश सर से जब बात हुई, he was like, "Ma'am, we will finish within time everything." Okay.
हाँ, so I'm person of command. You've given me a command, it will be executed.
Oh,
Yes,
So
sure.
I finished on time, I think 2 minutes prior to it. Thank you so
Yes, sir.
much.
thanks
Pleasure
a
seeing
lot
you
for
all.
giving
Happy
time.
Diwali to
Thank you.
everyone.
Very good.
Thank you,
Same to you,
Kalpesh
sir.
sir. Thank you, Divyan
Thank,
sir. Happy Diwali.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.